A group representing Fulani interests, the African Center for Fulbe Affairs, says it deems it discriminatory for the Ghana Statistical Service to have classified Fulanis under all other tribes and not as a separate ethnic group in the survey instrument for the Population and Housing Census. The acting executive director, Gedel Ahmed Mohamed, addressed the media in Accra.
According to the convener, Gedel Ahmed Mohamed, in previous population and housing censuses, they were referred to as Fulani and Fulani pastoralists in Ghana and wondered why they have now been categorized under all other tribes.
Ghana Population and Housing Census of 1948 captured the Fulani ethnic group at 20,000 as Fulani and Fulani pastoralists in Ghana. The 1960 census further suggested that this number had risen to 25,050. According to the 2000 Population Housing Census, which is the most recent, estimate that there were a total of 300,000 Fulanis, including the pastoralists in Ghana. These are strong affirmations that the Fulani ethnic group have always been part of the Population and Housing Census in Ghana by name.
He argued that the exclusion of the group, which has existed in Ghana for over 400 years and has contributed to the economic growth of the country, is deliberate.
The second lady of the Republic of Ghana is a Fulani. Indeed, the Adenta constituency settled on Fulani as its MP in the 2020 election. There are several Fulanis working as doctors, engineers, lecturers, journalists, and artisans who play active roles in developing our dear nation. Yet, official statistics tend to overlook many important economic benefits of Fulani community in Ghana.
Gedel Ahmed Mohamed called for a total condemnation of the action by the Ghana Statistical Service and the Population and Housing Census Secretariat.
In Accra here, look at Nima. Nima, the word Nima even is a Fulani language. Kaule is a Fulani language. Adabraka is a Fulani language. Ruga here, that is Kanda here. Ruga is a Fulani language. So you ask yourself, how long did it take the Fulanis to establish these communities along the history of this country up to this time? So if you have those places named in their own Fulani language by the Fulanis themselves, how are you now coming to exclude them?
So what we want the Population Housing Census to do is to provide us the code and remove us from the code of all other tribes. So when that is done, we know that we have been covered now by the Population Housing Census.
The group said it will advise itself if its request to be counted by name fails.
We know our communities, we know our people. If the appeal is not done, we are going to advise ourselves, and if possible, to look at how we can count ourselves. It is time to write down our history. We will not allow people to write down our history who don't know about us, who put prejudice in our history, who even taint our images. And since we know our communities, we can do whatever we have. We have intellectuals among us. We will look at it and count ourselves and know who are we and where we are coming from, and we give it to government.
Well, we have to get deeper into this subject, and that's why we have the head of census methodology, the Census Secretariat, and also Kejab is right here joining us. But I have to ask you, if you look at this interest group, we also do have other groupings like the Ahmadiyas, the Sunnis, etc., who also would want that sort of segregation. Why is it that we had to wait till we come to this point as a nation and a secretariat?
Thank you very much, and good evening to your viewers. So the point that was made about the fact that the census is exclusionary is not accurate. On the contrary, the census is inclusive. In fact, the census is the only activity that includes every single individual in Ghana. And so in our past censuses, these are the classifications that we have used, and it is based on advice from the Bureau of Ghana Languages, see, they are the masters when it comes to the languages and ethnic groupings. And so Statistical Service alone doesn't design the instrument for the census. In fact, we do wide consultations, including the Ghana Bureau of Ghana Languages, who help us in categorizing the ethnic groupings. And so 2000, 2010, these are the classifications that we use. So we have the 8 major groupings: the Akans, the Mole, the Banis, the Ewes, and the other groupings that make up the 8. And then there are other groupings that don't fall under
the major ones.
The major ones, yeah.
Okay. So now these groups, they want some major representation. You're saying that because it is the status quo, it should remain.
No.
Nothing is ever constant in this world, is it? For the Statistical Service, even you should know better.
No. So yes, because and so the list is not exhaustive, and so that's why the other provides specification. And so once you go for that option, there's an indication that you specify which of the ethnic grouping. Because the question is, which ethnic group do you belong to?
In the instrument, are they well represented?
Yes, they are.
Because clearly they are not.
They are. They are.
So how do they take? Do they take Fulanis?
No, so that is what I'm saying. They fall under the category 9, and that is where you specify which...
Ghana Statistical Service. That is the very thing they are dissatisfied about. How do you respond to that?
That's what I'm saying, that there is an opportunity for us to get to know these numbers by indicating which ethnic group that one belongs.
Okay, so the Fulanis fall alongside which others?
Yeah, so we were talking about the major ethnic groupings, and the 9th group is the other that I'm talking about.
And they comprise?
So examples are the Fulanis, you have the Zabrama, you have I've forgotten the other. These are the 3
the Kotokolis, the Hausas, etc.?
No, the Kotokolis belong to one of the major, yes, I've forgotten which one.
So the rationale is because it's been done over the years, over the last census periods, so it has to remain.
No, usually, as I said, in designing the instrument, we need to do consultations to make sure that you're getting it right in terms of what exists. And so once there's no evidence to say that we should change, then, or once a group doesn't come up to say that this is how we want it, then we go with
the Fulanis want to stand alone. You are saying that it's a no-no.
No, so we are talking about the major ethnic groupings.
They are not major.
So as far as the indicators are concerned,
they are not major.
We don't find that as...
Where you are currently, the enumeration or the logging of the houses that you're undertaking, from there, where do we go to?
Come again with your question, please.
You started putting numbers on the homes,
yes,
right?
Yes.
So from this stage, where do you go to?
Yeah, so this is the listing exercise that you're talking about.
Definitely.
And so we identify each structure within an enumerating area that has been assigned to the enumerator. And once we do that, we take some basic information about the structure, we take the GPS coordinates of this structure, and this exercise is supposed to end on the 25th of this month. And then 28th of June, after the census night, which will be celebrated on the 27th of this month, then we go into the enumeration of the population and households within the structures.
Okay. There's certain misconception. I have to end this, but people seem to think that they'll be counted one by one. I nearly say wine by wine, but one by one.
Yeah, so the enumeration is at the household level. And so, first of all, and that's why the listing exercise will identify the households within the structures. And so, once we identify the household, one of them who is knowledgeable in terms of getting information for us should be able to give us the information.
So people should not
members.
expect that they'll be counted single-handedly, right?
So yes, it depends.
So once it's a household, everybody making the component of the house.
There are cases when the person who is responding to the questions may not have answers to all the questions, and so may have to fall on these other members to give us the information about the other members.
Thank you very much. And Owusu Keja is head of census methodology at the Census Secretariat, helping us. Just stay put.